Howdy lads and lasses, it's the Lonely Rogue here with part 5 of Kerbal Space Program. Now today we're going to be designing the Rogue 2, which will soon come to be known as the flagship of our whole operation here. So, better get busy. First of all, we're just going to go ahead and set up the basic structure here. We're also going to add 2 drogue chutes, because those can be really important when you're coming in from further out orbits, and a 1.25 millimeter, not millimeter, meter. I'm used to speaking about bullets. It's a sickness. Anyway, a heat shield and a decoupler. We're going to put those all on one stage. Next, we're going to add an FLT 400. I'm going to switch that color scheme over. There we go. And it's going to need a Terrier with another decoupler. I'm also going to put on 3 of these micro struts, as low as I can get them. But also, I want them a bit further out than that. If I can get them to place. There we go. Because that will increase our stability there when we're landed. Alright, next, we're going to put down another FLT. Well, first we're going to do this one because it's prettier this way. Switch this over to the white mode. And we're going to put this one on the bottom. I'm going to switch it over to have a black bar on the bottom. And I'm going to put a swivel engine right there. Alright, so far this looks just like the Rogue 1. But this is the Rogue 2. We've got to be a bit more complicated than this. Actually, I have left out a part here. Or a couple parts, rather. We need some of these. And do a little bit of this number. We will throw some radial mount parachutes in here. And some radial mount drogue chutes on the sides. Alright. Then I'm going to save that as a subassembly over on the side. Place this back down. I'm going to go ahead and mess around with the staging here. Make sure it's right. We want these 2 to go off at the same time. Go ahead and take that one out. And that looks good to me. Go ahead and put that there. And this one up there, even though it'll separate before it does it. And those are the parts over here in the subassembly. But anyway, as I was saying, this is the Rogue 2. It's going to be much, much more hardcore than the Rogue 1. As a matter of fact, it's going to have 2 external boosters. Switch these over into the white, and we're going to put down reliant engines because they're better in atmosphere. Then we're going to place down a pair of these and these nose cones and Delta Deluxe winglets. From there, we're going to come up here and put in external fuel ducts to the main ship there, and structural parts here. The struts will come up from the very tip of this nose cone here over to the side of the core. Alright, now we need to do the staging one more time. So we want all three of these bottom engines to fire all at once. And then these drogue chutes are going to fire off after separation, as well as these here. But they're going to move up to stage 0. So we've got all three engines there are going to fire. Later, after these two have been drained of fuel, we're going to detach them, and then this one will still be full, giving us a fully functional Rogue One at high altitude with high velocity, which means we will have a lot more delta V. And then from there, we'll be able to jettison the bottom core booster there and start up our upper payload. And then this is for our return into the atmosphere. This is also going to need some launch stability enhancers, or at least one. It doesn't really need it per se, but it's much better to be safe than sorry. So I'll put that one there. Alright, save. Oh, I need to put this launch claim in that bottom stage there. And that looks good to me. Looks like I'm going to have to upgrade the vehicle assembly building, though. Question is, can I afford to do that? Yes, I can. What? Oh, I must have clicked on the runway over there. Alright, we've got the Rogue 2. We're going to launch it. So, the mission for today, or at least the first mission for today, I might do the next missions in the same episode, or I might not, is to get into a stable orbit of the moon and perform a spacewalk. In 3, 2, 1. As you can see, I finally got FMRS working, so I will be able to recover these boosters, including the core if I'm careful with it. I also got the new Science Re-Alerting mod by, I believe it's Linux Gamer, so that's always nice. It's good to know when you have science you can take. And I'm doing my gravity turn as early as possible to increase my efficiency here. Because I want it at about 75 degrees here. There are a couple more mods that I have installed since the mod list given in the first part. So I will eventually be giving an updated list. It will probably be in the description of this video, or it might be in one of the future parts. I have to keep you updated on that. Separation event. There we go. And as you can see, we are fully fueled here. We need to start tipping down. Oh, that's not good. Well, there is a quick save here for FMRS, and I should be able to get control in time to avoid that. Doesn't look like I'm tipping over quite fast enough here. So as soon as I cross into this darker blue area, I'm going to hit the orbit marker, or the orbit speed image so that my prograde marker drops, and I'll follow that. And now. I'm going to go ahead and extend my landing legs as soon as I escape the atmosphere. A bit more. So around 35 kilometers, I'll extend the landing legs so that I don't forget to do that when it becomes important. As you can see up in the top left, we've got already we've exited the atmosphere with our apoapsis, and we've got another 1200 meters per second here. So I'm going to keep burning along this 45-degree marker here until I reach about 100 kilometers. And then I'm going to circularize once I get up there, just like most of the other craft launches we've done. There we go. Just going to ease that on up. There goes my landing legs. There we go. Now we're going to time warp up with our physical time warp so that we will continue to follow the prograde marker there. Let's see what science this is alerting me for. An EVA report. I'll go ahead and do that. Do I have anything in there? No. Alright, let's go back to following our prograde marker. And when we get to about 22 seconds, I think, with our current thrust to weight ratio, we'll start our circularization burn. We won't have quite enough delta V in the bottom core here to circularize. I didn't start that in time, but it should be fine. Which is good, because we want our core to stay on a suborbital trajectory so that we can recover it. Really getting up there in velocity now. We've got 16 kilometers per second. Or no, is that 1.6 kilometers per second? It is. There's a decimal point there that I wasn't reading. I'm going to go ahead to stability assist, and I'm going to pull up there on the horizon. Looks like I didn't pull off quite as efficient of a gravity turn as I would have hoped. So this isn't going to be quite the efficient mission that I had planned. As a matter of fact, I might not even have enough delta V to quite land on the moon and come back. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and quick save here and switch to the Rogue 2 probe here. And this is the separation event that we just had. Alright, we're going to go ahead and flip this around. No, wait a minute, this is right where it's at. I'm going to open this. On the stage so that our parachutes will come out as soon as possible. As you can see, we're almost immediately going to flip right around to where our engine is pointing straight back at the ground. So we're going to want to oscillate a little bit to increase our drag and to decrease the amount of heat that our engine bell is taking. We can survive re-entry without doing that, but it does make it easier and softer on the engine if you oscillate a bit. As you can see, we're slowing right down. Our parachutes have been deployed. So we're just going to go on a calm, steady, careful descent down this kilometer up in the air down to the ocean at a blazing fast 7.2, probably about a half, since it's oscillating between 7.2 and 7.3 meters per second. And I'm going to go ahead and cut most of this out, I think, especially since we will be doing 2 more of these descents, and they're not all that entertaining. Although I might just leave all of this one in, just so that you can see that this is possible. Alright, we're going to go ahead and click recover. Oh, well, there it goes. It's jumping back into our flight. And it is post-circularization, so that's good. It's going to tell me that we have recovered nearly, over 3,500 funds worth of parts just from that. And then we have 2 more here that we're going to go ahead and return down, hopefully, if they don't have another separation event like that. Oh, it appears that that was only on this one at least, and this one was perfectly fine. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and open the service bay. That's not what I intended. And I will see you when these get to the ground. Alright, let's see just how much we made here. Alright, so as you can see, this is the... I believe this is the same one that we had last time for the 3,500 funds, and then 5,000 funds each for the 2 that were closer to the Space Center. 5,500 for the one that still had its nose cone. So, that's quite a bit of money saved. As a matter of fact, if I go into the Space Center now, this might take a minute. Alright, so if we saved 5.5, 5, and 3.5, that means that we've got 14,000 funds that we saved in this launch. And the total launch price was only 21,000 funds in the first place. So we went from spending 21,000 to only spending 7,000. 66% of our costs were recovered. It would have been more if we hadn't suffered from the impact shortly after stage separation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can't increase the ejection force on these separators here. Nope. Can't get any higher. Alright, so let's see if I can get these a little bit further apart. Alright. Trying not to have it float in the air like that, but I guess there's not much I can do about that. But that should, the extra distance there should cut down on effects like that. And I should be able to, let's see, let's go ahead and make it a stage action to toggle the service bay here. And where's that going to show up? Is it just going to be on the first stage? Well, then that's not what I want. Never mind. How about light? We'll make it lights. Or no, how about brakes? Because I don't have any braking modules on this. And RCS, I'll make this one RCS. Although this one isn't as important as these two, so I might not even use that. That should make it to where the parachutes, I can open these service bays and have the parachutes fire off. Where are they? Oh, I'm in the action group thing, so it won't tell me. I'll have... Oh, I don't even need to toggle the service bays for these stroke chutes, which are the important ones right here. So I guess I'll leave it like that. Now let's jump back to our mission. And we're going to plot a transfer for the moon. Let's see what the science here is. Yeah, I'm definitely not going to have enough delta V here. But that's fine. I'll have enough delta V to do the moon orbit and to return. Theoretically, anyway. I just won't have enough to land, but that's fine. Alright. Let's see, where are... Let's get that as close as possible without hitting the surface. So 22 kilometers sounds great to me. And that's in... Jeez! Okay, I don't actually have time. I'm gonna see if I can't get this burn to work. I didn't realize that I was putting that maneuver node right in front of me. Let's go ahead and speed up this burn. Alright, let's see how low we can lower this variapsis here. Alright, that's pretty low there. So we're going to go ahead and quick save and do moon transfer in case we have any more shenanigans with sphere of influence changes. See, what was that? I guess there's none now, but there were experiments. Oh, it seems that I forgot the thermometer and the barometer, but that's okay. We're always going to be going back to the moon at some point. It's not like I'll never get the science again, and EVAs and crew reports are the majority of your science anyway, other than the mystery goo and other experiments like that. So we're going to go ahead and switch to retrograde here. Warp to the periapsis. See, our mission here is to orbit the moon and go on an orbital spacewalk near the moon. So this should be easily done. There we go. And now we need a spacewalk. What is our... Nope, we're not getting any science from that. That's okay. We don't need science. Science is for the weak. Alright, so now what we're going to do is return to Kerbin. Go ahead and lift our thing back up there. And this is by far not the most efficient way to do this. It's just the way that I wanted to do. Because it shows off the extra delta V that I just brought along for this mission here. Oh well. Oh, I could have used that. Let's see what that was. Because if I can use that to circularize further down with less energy, it'll be great. Oh yeah, look at that. Okay. Let's go back to this quick save here. And look at the delta V savings there. I don't need them, nor did I really want them, but I have them now. Alright, still not really any science data there, is there? So we're going to go ahead and warp back down to the moon's sphere of influence. I'm going to get that sweet, sweet gravity assist. Return back to Kerbin. Now, I really was wanting to just lower my periapsis from way up there to show off my heat shield and the drogue chutes, but I just can't turn down the kinds of delta V savings that this gravity assist is giving me. It would be against my very nature. This is taking a hot minute, isn't it? Alright, let's see. I should be able to burn my periapsis down from here, even though I'm not quite at my apoapsis. Sometimes orbital mechanics don't behave, but they are today. A bit too well, actually. Might have been more fun if they hadn't behaved so well for me. Oh, look at that science that we just missed. More science that we just missed. I'm going to go ahead and stack this. Alright, going to go ahead and physical time warp this down. And as soon as I see these pressure gauges here, I'm going to burn for as much as I'm worth. All those delta V savings are going right down the drain. Now we're going to separate. That was really close. Ooh, that explosion sounds cool. Too bad I wasn't paying attention to it. Too bad we didn't come down in the desert, too, because that would have been some free surface sample science. Oh, look at that. It wants me to get an EVA report while I'm going 300-something meters per second. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and cut this descent out. Alright, we have touchdown.